Recently, a young student was kicked out of class, 11-year-old boy, for wearing a T-shirt that said there are only two genders. And the Board of Education allowed the boy to address the board at an evening meeting. The law says that students, even at age 11, have First Amendment rights. However, they are subject to the mission of the school, meaning if the student expresses an opinion protected by the First Amendment, which interferes with the mission of the school, the delivery of educational services to students, then the school can punish the student. But if the student is silently expressing an opinion and there is no evidence of disruption, then the student's opinion stands. There are two famous cases on this. One involves a belt buckle which opposed the war in Vietnam. It's called Tinker versus Des Moines. This is a Vietnam era case, which is a full-throated defense of the right of students to express their political opinion. The other is the infamous decision called Bong Hits for Jesus. That's not the name of the case. This kid held a sign saying Bong Hits for Jesus. I mean, what does that mean? That's really nonsensical. And the sign was off school property and out of school hours, but it was at a school event. It was at a school parade. And the school disciplined him because they said it was encouraging illegal activity. Bong hits meaning smoke marijuana and do it for Jesus. It's kind of ridiculous. But it was an expression of a unique position of the relationship between Jesus and marijuana, if there is one in this kid's mind. He was suspended. The suspension was upheld by the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court reiterated the same principle. If it is protected political speech and it is not disruptive, then the student can't be prosecuted. Here is this young man. Watch and listen.
Good evening. My name is Liam Morrison. I'm in the 7th, 10th grade at Nichols Middle School. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I never thought that the shirt I wore to school on March 21st would lead me to speak with you today. On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with two adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported my decisions and came to pick me up. What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only two genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening, just a statement I believe to be a fact. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids told me that they supported my actions and that they wanted one too. I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions. I know that I have a right to wear a shirt with those 5 words. Even at 12 years old, I have my own political opinions, and I have a right to express those opinions. Even at school, this right is called the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Wow. God bless him. Beautifully, wonderfully articulated argument in favor of the freedom of speech. He did point out something I think that's fascinating: feelings versus rights. A right is a natural gift. The right to think as you wish, to say what you think, to publish what you say. It comes from our humanities. Feelings are your sensitivity to other people's exercise of their rights. There is no right not to be offended. There is a right to express whatever you believe about whatever you want. The answer to your offense is to wear a t-shirt expressing your rights. I happen to agree with the young boy. There are only two genders. Some people would say two sexes. The words have been used interchangeably today, but you get the point. I also happen to believe that a mature adult owns his or her own body. And if you want to have your body butchered by a butcher calling himself a doctor, you can go ahead and do it. I think it's morally repellent, but you have the right to do what you want with your body because you own it. The government does not. In terms of expressing that opinion, even if he expressed an opinion with which I disagreed, I would defend his right to do it.